Let's get this party started. All right. Nice to see you, Shannon. Glad you're here. Looks like Yana just popped off, so she'll probably be popping back on. All right. The clock is a ticking. So her internet went out because her kitchen is done and she didn't pay her bill or something. And they said, "That's it. We're turning you off tonight." All right. So I wonder if you guys get messages. I have my power meter battery is low, so hopefully you get battery notices on your Garmin or your Wahoo or whatever device you're using. I see you're back, Yana. Glad we didn't lose you forever. So remember to keep your devices charged, because that's a bummer if you go somewhere, you're on a ride, and halfway through, all of a sudden, low battery, and then you're like, oh my God, can't believe I have low battery. Sometimes too, if you're using a Garmin, if you're using the cable for the battery, sometimes you might have to wiggle it a little bit just to get that connection to the device. I know the one that my husband has, it's like a watch kind, and he has like a little clip. So when he clips it on, you got to make sure that those sensors. Oh, speaking of the husband, there he is. The AT hiker has returned with his beard and all. He hasn't shaved for how long? 5 weeks? 5 weeks. So that's what he looks like with a giant beard. But when he hiked the trail last time, his beard at the end was so long that you couldn't even see his neck. So that was 5 months, almost 6 months worth of growth without even shaving at all. So that was kind of crazy. In fact, we just found recently, his sister gave to us some pictures from when he finished the trail, and we have pictures of my niece and nephew who were very young, and we had taken parts of Randy's beard and we put them on their face so they both looked like they had beards because his beard hair were so long. It was really cute, actually. I'll have to share those pictures with you guys. They're really kind of fun. Tonight, I called this workout Up, Up, and Away, because we're going to do some climbing type efforts. So I hope you brought your strong legs. Hope you have a pot roast in the crock pot ready for dinner, so you can get some nice protein after this one, because these are the kind of workouts that kind of push the legs a little bit. You'll feel them being a little heavy in the morning and after, but that's good because we just want to get those muscles to work a little differently than you are typically used to, and to simulate what happens when you climb. So I was watching today, before we started, the third stage of the Giro d'Italia, and today is really the first climbing day, and it's pouring rain there in Italy. So these poor guys are drenched, freezing, and they just climbed up this one section that started at 8% and got to 20% at the top. And they were all over the place trying to get themselves up this 20% section. It was just crazy. But they're pros. That's what they get paid for. So it'll be interesting to see. I didn't get to finish the stage. I don't know who won, so don't anybody tell me. I'm going to go finish it. I have 30K left to go after we're done here. So it was fun to watch. It's always fun to watch those guys suffer. All right, so we're going to get started. We're going to do the old way of warming up. We haven't done this in a while. It's going to be a simple 15 seconds of hard, 1 minute of easy, and you're going to be in your small ring 15. So go ahead and find that 15. Remember, you should be seeing 3 gears under your chain. 3, 2, 1, 30 seconds. Kind of push it a little harder. Get the legs to start to bring some lactic acid to the surface. Want to feel the heart, lungs starting to work. Your breathing will start to get a little labored. 3, 2, 1, easy gear. Spin it out for a minute. Keep it at 90. We're still kind of in the warm-up, so you don't want to go any lower than 90. Want to keep that blood flowing, the legs moving, keep the body getting warmed up. So Randy got home from the trail on Sunday. They had a very successful trip. And their way home, everything was like clockwork, he said. They got on the train, got on the bus, everything was good. So back down to that 15. 3, 2, 30 seconds. Push it out a little harder than the last time. Think about your body position as you warm up. Hands are on that deck. A little bend in those elbows. Nice light feet. 3, 2, nice and easy. Spinning it. He said, though, it was really sad when they took the train. He got into New York City, and he's not a city guy. Might have been because he was in the woods for 2 weeks. He's like, New York City, ugh. It's so dirty. He's like, homeless people everywhere. He said, it's just not for me. He couldn't wait to get out of there. I think in the 25 years that we've lived in New Jersey, we've probably been in the city less than 10 times, which is hard to believe when it's right there. 3, 2, 1, right back to that 15. One of the biggest cities in the world, and we never go there. Three, 2, 1, nice and easy. It's good to hear, though, that they're going to start opening the theater district. That's kind of cool. Need to get all those actors and performers back out there. Start bringing some revenue back into the city. Then maybe they'll clean it up a little. Who knows? All right, we have one more 30-second to go. Then we're going to start climbing some mountains. You have to start thinking about your favorite mountains so you can imagine climbing up them. Find that gear. 3, 2, last time. 30 seconds. Bring up the cadence. Bring up the effort. Hopefully you're feeling the legs starting to warm up. Three, 2, 1. All right. Take an easy spin for a minute. A drink. All right. First set. 2 by 2 minutes of 10 seconds standing, 10 seconds seated. So we'll do that for 2 minutes. Spin the legs for a minute. And then do it again for 2 minutes. Then after that, we'll have 2 11-minute sets, which will be similar. A little bit of climbing, a little bit of standing, a little bit of low cadence. But we're also going to think about, in the first set, kind of gradually making our way up a climb. So what I want you to do is, for this first one, I want you to be in your big ring and right back down to that 15. Go ahead and get there. And we're going to do standing up for 15, seated for 15 in your hoods. 3, 2, 1, standing up. Just get a rhythm to this. Find yourself with those hips back, feeling that saddle between your legs, sitting down. A little grind when you sit. Let the gear dictate it. Stand it up. Just enough to get our legs started. Sitting down. Keeping your feet really light on these guys. Up. Down. Nobody's feeling those soles of their shoes under their feet. Up. Down. Good. Everybody looks great. Nice and tall in your torso. Up. Keeping your head high. Down. Almost a 2. Last time up. Up. Down. Stay in that gear. No shifting yet. 3, 2, small ring, easy gear, spin at 90. Shake out some of that junk that we just put in there. Then we're going to do that again. 2 minutes and up and down. Welcome, Donna. Glad to see you. We missed you last week. Got to tell those people at work. You got a meeting, 7 o'clock Monday, Tuesday nights. Got to leave. Bye-bye. Nobody's working late anymore. All right, we're coming up on doing this again. So find that big ring. Down to that 15. 3, 2, stand it up. Sitting back down. Feel the upward part of these strokes. And up. Down. Such an advantage having clipless pedals. Up. Down. I was working with an athlete last night. She had flats. Up. By the end of our session, she said, I think I'm ready. I want clipless pedals. Down. Because she started to see what a disadvantage it was to only be able to push up. Down. One more standing. Up. Down. Hold on to this gear. No shifting yet. 3, 2. Small ring. Spin it out. Take a drink. Towel off. All right. Now the climbing legs are really ready. So here's how this first 11-minute set's going to go. It's 4 by 2 minutes with a minute in between. And just like we're doing now, I want you to hold that nice 90 cadence in between these efforts. Because when you do low cadence work, the legs need that spin just to refresh them. So each of these 2-minute efforts, I'm going to give you a gear, but I want the cadence to be what you go to. So if the gearing's not matching that cadence for you, then put yourself in a gear that will. And I want you to be getting somewhere between top of zone 3, bottom of zone 4 for these efforts. That's kind of your climbing range, right at the bottom of that zone 4. So I want you to put some effort into this, no slacking off, and just doing it in an easy gear and holding a low cadence. So the gearing is going to be key. 30 more seconds to spin this. Then the first effort for 2 minutes. Your cadence is going to be 50 to 55. So super low. Getting your heart rate up to that level, you might notice it a little tough because you're not working as hard. You're working strength-wise, but you're not working cardio. So find that right gear. I'm going to say big ring around your 13. Go ahead and go there. We're looking at 50 to 55. 2 minutes. 3, 2, 1. Let it feel slow. It's okay. I know I've gotten you guys into a mindset where you're so used to feeling your legs spinning that now we're going completely on the opposite end of the spectrum. So it actually feels kind of strange to put you there. And this again is where those cleats come into play. Because now you can use all parts of this pedal stroke. You should be feeling your hamstrings Because if you're pulling up, those hamstrings have to work to make that happen. So even if you put your hand on the back of your thigh and feel your hamstring engaging, that's what we're looking for. I know for myself, because I do so much pulling up, my hamstrings are actually probably the weakest part of my legs. I need to do more strength training on the hamstrings. And of course, those hamstrings are connected to those glutes, which you're definitely using when you're climbing. 10 to go. Then you're going to spin it out for a minute. 3, 2, 1. Small ring. Let it spin. Nice high. 90 cadence. Woo! So we're building a little bit of a ladder here. Each 2-minute effort, you're going to increase that cadence. So this next 2-minute one is going to be 60 to 65. You're probably going to shift up 1 or 2 easier gears. But again, if you were paying attention to where your heart rate or power went for that last 2 minutes, try to get it to be the same for this next 2 minutes. As always, we're looking for consistency here. So find your big ring again. Somewhere around your 14 or your 15. 2 minutes, cadence, 60 to 65. You might have to shift a little bit just to figure it out. Get it right where you need it to be. And while you're doing these, I want you to think about putting your hands on your deck or right on the edge of the curve. Don't be in your hoods. Bring your hands back a bit so you can feel yourself sit up, open that chest, and turn those hips. Because remember, when we climb, we got to be over our pedals. So when you get that nice tall torso, it gets you to pedal evenly, and it gets you to use all the muscles that you need to be strong, to climb strong. So I hope when you're climbing outside, you can have your cadence actually a little higher than this. But for purposes of being on the trainer, we need to create the tension. So that's why we do these lower cadence work. It's the only way we can simulate what a climb feels like. Nice flat feet. Nobody's pushing their heels down behind that pedal. Nobody's pushing their toes down. Keeping them flat. 3, 2, 1. Small ring. Easy gear. Right to 90. That's 2 down. 2 more to go in this set. Next one, as you can probably guess, 70 to 75. Just moving up that ladder. Your gearing is going to be somewhere probably around your 17. So if you were in your 15 last time, 2 gears easier. But again, Gauge the effort by the cadence, but the effort level also. That'll determine what gear is right for that particular effort. You might notice you're sweating a lot on these because we're burning a lot of fat on these. Plus the temperature is changing outside also. All right, big ring again. Somewhere around that 17, 70 to 75. Let's go. 3, 2, 1. Dial it right in. No higher than 75. If you're getting higher than 75 and you feel like you're not working in the right zone, then give yourself a harder gear. Or if you can't reach 70, find that easier gear. Now this may actually be the cadence that most of you feel like you're at when you're climbing. That's okay. Ultimately, you should work on trying to get it closer to 80, depending on the grade, steepness, and length of those climbs. Obviously, if you're going up 20%, it's every man and woman for themselves. And more than likely, you're out of the saddle because that's the only way you can get the bike to go forward. Keep the legs spinning. 30 seconds. Starting to feel these efforts a little bit. That's okay. That's what happens with this low cadence work. Listen to your bike. See if you're pedaling evenly. 3, 2, small ring, easy gear. Right back up to 90. All right, the next cadence. This is your goal cadence. The one you're going to strive for when you're climbing next time. Because remember, the faster you turn your legs over, the faster that wheel turns over. So therefore, you move a lot more with each pedal stroke. So the next gearing is going to be somewhere around your 19. Again, figure it out. Once you get there, go ahead, big ring. About the 19. 80 to 90. 3, 2, 1. Let's go. I'm sorry, 80 to 85. Don't go as high as 90. I'm sitting right at 83. So if you're following me, you're going to be right at that number. Match the leg speed. It's always fun for me to do that. A lot of the times I'm watching pro racing when I'm doing a workout on the trainer. Since it rained on Saturday, I watched the race. And I try to match guys' leg speeds just to see how fast they're going. Not very many of them are below 85. It's pretty amazing. But so many years of developing that leg speed makes a difference. This will be our last effort in this set. Legs might feel a little weary. Work through it, because that's how you get stronger. Only the legs are working here. Upper body, stand still. Find your core so the legs can function. 3, 2, 1. Small ring. Holding it. This time, it's a rest. So 80 to 90. Take a drink before we get in the next set. All right. So here's how the next set's going to go. This is going to be a little longer climb. And I want you to think of it that way. So what's going to happen is the first 30 seconds, we're going to stand up like we're approaching the climb from the bottom. Just kind of getting ourselves into a groove. Then we're going to sit down, settle into a 70 cadence for a minute. Then we're going to pick that cadence up, change gears, because you're probably going to need that, to 2 minutes at 75. Then we're going to go back to a minute of 70 and finish the set off with 30 seconds of standing. Whew. So that's a long climb. That last 30 seconds of climb or standing is just getting us up and over the top. So confidence in this one. Know that you can make it through this and get those cadences right where they need to be. And again, get into your climbing range, right at the bottom of zone 4, top of zone 3. So your first gearing for the 30 seconds of standing, give yourself big ring all the way down to your 13. We need enough resistance under us to make it happen. 3, 2, 1, let's go. Stand it up. All legs. Get the legs moving. Keep them rolling. Sitting down, shifting to whatever gear gets you to 70. You're going to hold it a minute here. Nice and steady. Feel that core engage. Feel your legs, making sure they're tracking forward. Nobody's with their knees out, and nobody's doing this. Get steady. Settle right into 70. In 5, I want you to increase that cadence. 75. If you need an easier gear, go ahead and take it. We're going 2 minutes. And again, don't be fooled that you have the right gear. I'm shifting around here, trying to get right where I need to be. There we go. Might take you a little while to find it. Remember your gears, because we're going to do this twice. One more minute at this cadence. Notice how you're using your lower back for this effort. And if your body was climbing, you're going to be at an angle, which means you're going to have even more pressure on your back. So we're building that lower back in addition. In 15, we're going to move to back down to a 70 cadence for a minute. I'll tell you when to shift. 3, 2, 1. Finding 70. The hill's getting a little harder. You're getting closer to the top. Now is when you start gripping the handlebars. Shoulders might go up. Staying relaxed. Keeping that bend. Nice flat back. Tall in your torso. And remember, it's from your lower abs you're getting tall. In 15, you're going to shift down to that 13, and you're going to stand up for 30. Go ahead and find that gear. 3, 2, standing up. Woo! Legs are a little slow getting started. That's okay. They've been working hard. Three, 2, small ring, easy gear, spin it out, hold it between 80 and 90. Take a drink. Woo! This is going fast. So we're going to do that again after our break. If you felt like you had the right gears, then fantastic. If you think you could go a little bit harder in that middle section, and by harder I mean a harder gear but holding the same cadence. But if you feel like you dialed it in, we're going to do it again. Now you can see why, with an effort like this, that when you climb a lot in a day, wow, the legs work hard. All right, let's go. Big ring. Down to that 13. Standing up for 30. 3, 2, standing up. The other thing to notice when you're standing, do you feel like your cleats are positioned correctly on your feet? Do you feel like you want your heels to come in or out? Or you want your foot to go forward or back? Sitting down, finding 70. No higher than 75. But I want you to dial it into 70. If you're just at 69, all you have to do is get your torso a little taller, and you'll get to that 70. It's amazing how using your abs helps so much. In 5, you're going to make it up to 75. 3, 2, bring up the cadence. Holding this for 2. I'm right at 76. If you're matching my leg speed, we're all going to feel like we've been pumped up tonight. We'll get off and our legs will be like boom, 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 boom. Because we put so much blood in them, making them work hard. You got another minute at this cadence. Concentrate on keeping it consistent. Some people love these workouts. Some people hate these workouts. Sprinters, they love these workouts. Even though this is what I call a climbing workout, this is kind of a lot of sprinter work because it's leg work, strength work. In 15, you're going to go back to 70. Getting near the top again. Getting a little harder. That grade has changed. And the mountain's getting tougher. 3, 2, bring it down. Looking for 70. Dial it in. I got to 69. And then I just got a little tall on my torso. Dead on to 70. That's all it takes. I was riding over the weekend, and I noticed that as soon as I hit the bottom of any climb, onto my deck, sit up tall. It's kind of automatic. At least that's what you want to have happening. That it becomes automatic. That you don't have to think about it. Back down to your 13. Stand it up. Last 30 seconds. A little harder. Sprint to the top. 10 to go. 3, 2, 1. Small ring. Spin it out. Take a drink. Towel off. Whew. Sweaty. So Randy got back from the trail, and now he's going to go back to the trail, which is crazy. Another friend of his who wants to section hike New Jersey said, hey, you want to come join me? So of course Randy said, yeah, I got my hiking legs now. I'm going to go right out there. And going to be no problem. But this one's going to be fun because this is going to be, I don't know if I told you, Randy's trail name is Rookie, which is like an oxymoron because he's not a rookie. He probably knows more than most people that are hiking. But I'll get into that story after we get through this last set. All right, we got 3 minutes. All it is, 30 seconds standing, 30 seconds seated. We're going to be in our big ring 15, just like we were to start. So find your big ring. Down to that 15, remember you should see 3 gears underneath that chain. 3, 2, 1, 30 seconds standing. Find yourself extending your legs here. I don't want you pushing down though. I just want you feeling, and that actually comes from being tall in your torso and not having your face and your chest too far forward. Get those hips back. Sitting back down. 30 seconds seated. Staying in this cadence, in this gear, whatever cadence you can manage. Just the last bit to get you up and over some tough climbing today. This was good. Up. 30 seconds up. The legs might be feeling it. Just an indicator that you did something. You did work. And down. 3 minutes total. We're at the halfway point. Then you're going to be done for the night. Amazing. I didn't even tell very many stories today. Three, two, last time standing. Feel that nice groove. No pressure on your hands. If your hips are right, your hands won't feel any pressure on them. Sitting down, last 30. Work this. Woo! It's a good one. Randy was imitating me earlier. He was like, come on, come on, come on. You got this. Come on. I'm like, really? That's what I sound like? 3, 2, small ring, easy gear. Spin this out. Keep it between 80 and 90, but nice and light. So the legs might feel heavy. I want you to just keep those legs super light. So I'm not going to name any names, but this guy that Randy's going to hike the New Jersey section of the trail with, he was a former Boy Scout. He's actually an Eagle Scout. And Randy went over to his house today to check what he was going to be putting in his pack. So obviously when you do long distance hiking, you got to sacrifice a few things. So that means you take less clothes. You might not have enough food, but you hope that you do. You take one, not multiples of things. And you really try to make your pack as light as possible, because obviously you're like a turtle with a shell on your back, and you want to make sure that you're not carrying too much weight. So he said he goes to his house. He's got all this stuff laid out on the floor. He said from here to there were his clothes. In a pile about this big, he had his food. Over here, he had his tent and his sleeping bag and his thermarest, or his sleeping pad. So Randy's sleeping bag weighs about 2 ounces. This guy's sleeping bag weighs 4 pounds. Randy's tent weighs about 1 ounce or 2. This guy's tent, 4.5 pounds. So just in his tent and his sleeping bag, he's already got 8 pounds of stuff on his back. Then he said he had 3 cotton t-shirts. You don't wear cotton. It doesn't wick the sweat away. It gets very heavy. It's not very good. He had 2 pairs of cotton shorts, super heavy. And he had a jacket and a vest. And then he had food that was not very well thought out. So first of all, I don't think this guy's going to be able to fit all this stuff in his pack. This is going to be the rookie, being Randy, helping the rookie learn how to have the right stuff in his pack. So it's going to be an interesting adventure. I can't wait to hear about all of the things that are going to happen on this hike. The other hike went really well. The guy that he was hiking with was kind of a little, not a big talker, really mellow. And at first, that kind of threw Randy, because he talks a lot and he also likes to hike pretty fast. So he had to kind of turn things down. But I think the funny part is now, he just said to me today, he said, I think I need to be Ming for this guy he's going to hike with in the coming week. He needs to turn this guy down, slow him down, tell him to smell the flowers, and make it a journey, not like a speed hike. So it should be interesting to see how it goes. I think they'll have a fun time. I think Randy's going to teach him a lot along the way. And Randy will learn a lot too on how to be that good teacher to his friends. So hopefully they have good weather, which is always what you want. We're going to go 15 seconds more, and then we will be done for the night. Ooh, that was a good one. I like that. I like when you spin it out. Your legs feel a little heavy, and then you get in that last 5 minutes of spinning, and it pays off. Great job, everybody. Oh, yeah. I think I better charge my pedals. They are screaming at me.